One time I was looking at the original Basics in Behavior video by Katie for the first time in a while. I kinda forgotten what fundamental paper education had really meant to me. There was nothing that hit closer to home than Katie's beautiful work. It is currently November 1st, 2025 as I'm writing the script for this video, but I released this video on the day that Basics in Behavior had hit its 2-year anniversary if it was still here. I don't know if Katie would have come back by then as I'm writing this, I hope so, but for the 2-year anniversary of FPE, I kinda want to explain why FPE means so much to me. It means more than anything ever, really. But who is Katie? Yeah, seriously, who the frick is Katie? No, I have dementia. Who the hell is Katie? She's the creator of FPE. She created the Basics in Behavior animation that started the FPE fandom, and she's the reason why I'm making this. Everyone's always talking about some random 9'7" tall math teacher named Miss Circle. Everyone knows her without knowing what FPE is, and Katie is the reason. Katie did get overwhelmed by being popular and eventually called it quits, and it's kind of a long story on why that happened, but I would like to share my story with fundamental paper education and basically how I found it. It all started back in around July of 2024. There I was in my bed. I had finished burning. I had scrolled past one video simply titled Basics in Behavior with a picture of 4 characters, and it looked like it was from a sketchbook. And I mean, technically that was what it was. For the past week or two, that video would show up on my YouTube recommendations on the homepage, so one time I finally decided to tap on the video to see what it was. And tapping on that video might have been the best choice I've ever made in my life. I felt this beautiful, cute world of these paper characters that had supernatural body characteristics on them. One of them had an apple stem on their head, another looked like a walking bubble bath. One had bunny characteristics, one had a monitor with pixels for a face, one was a bully, one was a demon, one was an engineering bully, one was a dragon bully, one had a huge compass on her arm, another had a box cutter, one was a kind kid with feathers in his hair, and another one was the main character, the hero of our story, which was Claire. The ideas were weird, yet so cool. I had used to be a fan of all these basics at that time, which was kind of the structure to why this animation existed, but even though this animation had its similarities, I guess it was charming for me. I just feel like it's better than Bully's Basics when you think of the lore aspects in that way. The characters looked charming and innocent, it meant a lot to me. I wish I could experience that feeling for the first time again, over and over again, but alas I can't. I found out about all of this during summer break, and I thought all the kids at school would have also seen this awesome video in its fandom, but only I knew who it was at school. Was a bit disappointing to have no one to talk to about it since this was actually pretty sick, but I guess me only being able to know, like, I guess it felt good in the end. And I spent all of summer just messing around with the fandom and stuff. I barely knew anything. I would only watch YouTube lore videos about FPE. It was awesome. And just for the sake of this, I will admit one time I tried using character AI to talk with these guys. So I'd seen a YouTube video that had character AI in it. I decided to make an account because for fun. I took a look at it, and then I saw that they had FPE characters. So I tried talking to them, and it actually seemed pretty alive, and I guess that's what attached me to FPE more, because it feels like I could actually talk with them, you know? Imagine meeting your idols, but they're an everyday friend that you can always talk to. That's kind of what it felt like, so I guess that's why I was addicted to it. There were so many AUs and all that, there were like new cute characters, AUs and everything, and it was very peak. It was it was the peak of the fandom for me, and for a lot of people. So many new FPE theory videos, so many new memes. I would listen to Basics in Behavior every single day for the rest of 2024. This is why 2024 was the biggest and best year of my life, at least so far. I'm still just a kid. I only wanted more. I felt like I couldn't let go, but then unfortunately Katie quit. because she couldn't take all the pressure from everyone to make more content, and when I found out, I was crushed to bits. I only found out about it in February of 2025, and I decided to check back in with the FPE fandom since my interest was kind of fading, so I wanted to remind myself, and then I can't find the animation anywhere. I look at the FPE wiki or whatever, find out it's unlisted, and then I realize that this could lead to something terrible. And then here we are next year. I wonder if Katie still thinks of FPE. I'm not saying she should come back, well, I mean, that would be pretty sick, but she's totally justified to quitting, because that amount of stress could easily put someone out, and I can totally understand her decisions. I just really wish it didn't have to end this way, because her work kind of makes me really think about life. Every time I think about when FPE ended, it makes me think of the world. I love the basics and behavior animation more than anything. I'd probably give up an arm or a leg to bring it back. Does that make me sound obsessed? Totally. But I like to call that dedication. I feel like Katie has actually managed to shift my perspective on life. If the afterlife was something about you getting to live in the world that you love the most, I would really love to live in FPE as my own OC for eternity. That would be paradise, honestly, even with all the consequences, and even with all the consequences and everything. It's just the feeling of it. I don't know how to describe it. And if you don't understand, take a look at FPE. See what made me and many others attached. See why it's so charming. It had what no other fandom had, and can't really explain it. I won't ever leave the FPE fandom, and I'll always treasure these characters. And once again, thank you, Katie.